Yeah, so I remember when I went across that Epiphany Bridge, when I changed my identity from someone who wasn't fit to someone that actually became fit. And that actually happened at an early age for me. I remember when I was 14 years old and I had like, some buddies that were on the track team with me. And, these were upperclassmen, like older, definitely more mature, juniors and seniors. So I remember we're in the locker room, again, 14 years old, I'm a freshman, still, kind of finding my way, fitness wise. And everyone's taking off their shirts, right? And I just remember, they just have muscles all over the place and abs popping out all over the place. And then I just remember with me, my chest was all caved in and I had like a little pudgy gut. And I mean, I wasn't overweight, but I just wasn't really in shape, and I just remember having that gut and, they kind of laughed. It wasn't like a mean laugh, but it was just almost kind of like, guys being guys, right? And I just remember just being like really embarrassed because I was like, these guys are fit and in shape. And I was like, well, you know what? I don't want to be in that place. And I was like, I wanted to get to the place that they're at. I wanted to kind of cross that bridge, so to speak, and be in a position where not only was I living healthy, but that I looked the part as well, especially because I was running track and field and I was an athlete. So I'll never forget when I went through that Epiphany Bridge from someone who wasn't fit, from someone who wasn't living a lifestyle, to eventually becoming to the point, getting to that point where I can cross that bridge and get there. So I remember just asking them questions, and I would just say, hey, what kind of workouts do you guys do? What are you eating? What are you not eating? And I started learning a lot, especially because not only as I asked them questions, but, I just kind of hung out with them a lot. And I just remember the type of workouts they would do like, different abdominal exercises at night before they go to bed. They had a little push-up routine that they kind of had set up for themselves. It may have been, 50, 100, 200, wide grip, diamond grip, just all those different things, all little nuances. And I just started learning. It was really intriguing because, they were pushing their bodies. And as a result of them pushing their bodies, they looked the part, and I wanted to get to that place. So I just remember just asking them and just asking a lot of questions, and I was doing it. And at first I couldn't do what they did because they were further along than me, and I could barely do a couple of really good push-ups. And after a while I just started kind of getting better, and it went from 4 to 5 to 6 to 10 to 20 to 30. And I just remember I had it in my mind, and my mind was made up that every single day I was just going to do a little bit more. Every little bit that I can do, I was going to fit it in there. And that if I can keep on pushing, and if I can learn from them, and steadily but surely, if I can continue to progress, that I can change my identity to that person who is fit. I can change the way that I looked, the way that I felt, the way that I was able to perform, so that I can get to what I saw as a better place, and that was the place that they were in. So I'll just never forget when I went through that Epiphany Bridge. I remember the different things that they were eating, the things that they would eat, the things that they wouldn't eat. They would say, oh, this thing had a lot of sugar, and that it wouldn't allow me to perform the way I needed to, so I had to leave that alone. Or different drinks like soda and things like that they didn't drink, but I was drinking on a regular basis, or even just different decisions. I remember when I made that shift from eating pork all the time to eating turkey. And it was like all those little tips that they were giving me, all those little things that they were doing that worked for them, and I was helping them to live that healthy and active lifestyle. I started implementing those things, and it was just like, wow. And I was just changing, and it was just so awesome. It was euphoric and utopic, and I'll never forget that. So whenever I'm working with people and I'm encouraging them to live that healthy and active lifestyle, the thing that I refer back to always, because I had to go through it myself, and I always believe you can't lead somebody somewhere that you've never been to yourself. And I remember going through that Epiphany Bridge, being that person who had the gut, who ate anything I wanted to eat. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and on every street corner you had these bodegas where you could get the chips and the Little Debbie snack cakes and the 25-cent ice cream sandwiches, and I ate those things all the time, and as a result, my body looked a certain way because of it. And I just remember going through that Epiphany Bridge and cutting back on that more, eating some more nutrition, things that are nutrient dense, eating more of the brown rice and having more of the vegetables and drinking more water and cutting out the sodas. And then as soon as you know it, then I was the guy who was like, and again, it wasn't always just about the aesthetics, but it was the identity and the identity shift that I went to, from being that person who was out of shape to being that person that was in shape, that was one of the best runners in New York City, to being in that place where, you know, I can lead and not just follow. And it was just something that just always resonates with me and will always stick out in my mind for the rest of my life. And that's what I hope to do for you and for everyone that I come in contact with. You know, if you're not happy with that place from a fitness and wellness standpoint, being able to allow you to have that opportunity, and you recognizing that you have that opportunity to make an identity shift and to go from that place where you may not feel fit or look the part or be well, and go across that epiphany bridge to get to that place. All right, so we're here to serve, and I'm just here to help, you know. And if anybody can, you know, feel what I felt going through that bridge, and I can walk along that journey with them, then I want to be able to do that.